Sharp Game here, coming at you on another episode from ChooseYourRelationships.com off of Love Can't Wait, which can be found on Amazon.com. Over the weekend, I was talking to one of my closest friends, and he was telling me, he's married. I think he's been married for like 5 years now, and he said sometimes it seems like his wife is not very supportive. It seems like she's against him when certain things happen. Like, for example, he says that he'll go to work and, sometimes, he's being mistreated at work, and he'll come home and tell his wife what happened over could be the same day or the entire week. He'll tell her the story from the beginning to the end, and he said, man, it always seems like she's on the other side. She's not really on my side. She's not really standing up for me. And I told him, man, I said, look, most women today, they don't really stand for anything. Most women, they're not social justice warriors. Most women aren't really conditioned to be that way. And this is pretty much, I hear stories like this all the time. I'm telling you, most of these women, especially women from other cultures, they're conditioned to follow. You're not going to see a lot of women out here today in 2017 standing up, speaking for women's rights and for any kind of rights. Look, don't let that march, the women's march, fool you. Most of those women that were out there marching across the country or in Toronto or wherever or around the world, most of these women are unfit women. Most of these women are not. I wouldn't advise any guy to get married to most of these women. Now, some of these women, more than likely, are married. But if you do a investigation on these women that are married that was at the march, and if you do an update on how their relationships are, I can almost guarantee you that it's not good. And a lot of these women that were out there marching, they were single. A lot of these women don't want anything to do with a man. A lot of these women are gay. So that's a completely different mindset. I mean, those women don't want anything. Most of those women don't want anything to do with a man, and they want to destroy the marriages, the traditional marriage in the United States of America. That's why they were marching. They want to be able to do what they want to do, say what they want to say, without any consequences, without being judged, without losing their jobs, or they want to be able to come out the closet. So that's a completely different thing. So don't let that fool you. But that's not the average woman that's marching out on the street. The average woman is the woman that's married, work a 9-to-5 job, got a kid or two, maybe they got a house, and she makes an average decent paying salary, and the man, he make decent money, he pay most of the bills, and her focus is on the household, and she manages the kids, keep up with the schoolwork and all that good stuff. The average woman like that, if shit gets real, if you get in any type of legal problems, look, don't be surprised if she bails out on you. Don't be surprised if she tries to justify why whatever happened to you happened. Don't be surprised if she gets scared and she does something drastic, kind of spontaneous, kind of doesn't really make any sense, and it's not really in your best interest at all. most of these women, I think most of these women really aren't built that way. They aren't raised that way. And especially these women from other cultures, they're not used to standing up against any injustice or against authority or against the system. Then when they come over here to America, they want to be a part of the system. They don't want to fight against the system. I mean, they not even thinking that way. You know, I mean, it's like when they come over here, they think like, you know, they want to be a part of the system. They want to fit in. So they're not trying to fight anything. So you see a lot of these guys that, you know, they'll get married to these other women from other cultures and they don't really factor that in. You know, they kind of like, you know, as long as things is going well, there's no legal problems, there's no mistreatment at the time, so it's all good. But something's going to happen to you or your kids. You're going to get mistreated if you're a non-white person, or if you're not a person within the dominant society living in the United States of America. It's going to happen. It's only a matter of time. But the question is, what are you going to do when it happens? That's the question you have to ask yourself. Because it's like I said, this is not the 60s, 70s, and 80s anymore. These women today are not going to stand up and speak up for you like that. Most of these women don't really stand for anything. Most women today they're just followers. They just, you know, the person that's winning, at least that's their perception anyway, the person that's winning in society, the person that has the most goodies, the person that's flossing the most, the person that's, you know, getting the most awards, that's on the red carpet, that's on television, that's on the magazine covers, the person that's up front, that's who most women want to follow. That's just a reality. So, do you really think, how many women do you think are going to go against or fight against that? How many women you know is going to fight against the status quo in America? Not that many. It's less than 5%. I don't know too many social justice warriors out here today. I know very little women. I mean, you got some women out here. If the kids go to school and have any problems, the kids will come home and be like, "Mommy, the teacher picked on me today, made me feel bad for no reason. I didn't felt like I deserved it." And the parents will justify why the teacher mistreated the kids because she don't want to have any problems. She don't want to have to go and talk to the teacher at the school, because a lot of these women just take the cheap way out. They just don't. They just have that. They're just afraid. That fear is embedded into a lot of these women today. It's just embedded in a lot of people today. People don't really have that drive and that fight. I mean, maybe their parents had it. Maybe their grandparents had it, or their great-grandparents had it. But they don't have it. So, I mean, if you're a guy and if you get married to a woman, or you got a girlfriend that you've been with for a long time, or maybe you got a girlfriend that you've been with for a short period of time, less than a year, and if you have any legal problems, and God forbid you get stopped by that crazy cop and you get into an altercation with him, don't be surprised if your girlfriend, just cuts you off. Don't be surprised if she just not interested in talking to you anymore. Because my dad told me something a long time ago. rest in peace to him. He was a wise man. He told me in most cases, when the average man and woman gets scared, when that fear runs through their veins, all bets off. They're liable to do almost any and everything at any given time. So he told me it's your best bet. It's in your best interest try not to put anybody in a situation where they have to make a decision based on your livelihood. So ever since that day, I always remembered that I don't want anybody to speak for me. If their word comes down to my freedom, and if I have the option to speak, or if I have the option to make the decision, I'll bet on myself any day, anytime. Because no one can tell my story like me. Because no one knows me as well as I do. So just keep that in mind. Most of these women are not social justice warriors. They aren't conditioned to stand and take a stand and do any of that stuff. They're just conditioned to follow. That's it. So if you like what you heard, subscribe to my channel. Check out my blog, chooseyourrelationships.com. Go get my books. Until next time, peace.